So I'm gonna use this episode to talk more about strategy, right? How to move, how to plan. You need to look at your situation and look at what's real and what's not. What's possible and what's not possible. What's delulu and what can actually be attained. And if it's a high-reaching goal, which is nothing wrong with setting high-reaching goals, you got to make sure you have a plan set in place that it's not something that's going to happen immediately. It's going to take years. So you need to have a plan set to reach that in years. For me, I plan ahead, but I don't plan too far. Well, no, that's a lie. I plan far ahead, but my main focus is always the now and the short term. But I plan ahead to know where I'm headed. I try to know where I'm headed, and then after that, in the short term, I figure out what I need to do to get towards that goal, or if I need to adjust and change directions and possibly pivot towards another long-term goal. When you're looking at jobs, you want to make sure that what you're doing is putting yourself in the right position to go for these jobs so you can get a chance at these jobs, because nowadays you can't just get a job just because you have good work ethic and grit. It's just not going to happen. The main thing about these jobs is, first off, they want a degree if they want to pay at least 50K a year or 60, and they want experience in that field before they even give you a shot or somewhere adjacent to that field. So if you want to work in a certain industry, you need to make sure that you have experience that can tie into that industry. Doesn't necessarily have to be in that particular industry that you want to go to, no, but you need some kind of experience that you can tie and be like, well, this is kind of similar to it, and I think I'd be a good fit for the role, because after being in this industry, I feel like I can pivot and learn this one with a lot more ease than a person who's never done it before, because it's similar to something I've done before. You gotta do that. You gotta be honest, and you gotta be flexible in regards to the pay. I don't care how much you think you deserve to be paid. You need to be flexible with your pay and look at the situation for what it is. I'm looking at situations where I am working retail. I just got let go. I know retail does not pay 80K like a government job. So I already know the pay is going to be low. But I need a job and I need to work. It's a situation. It just is what it is. So when they offer me $17, I'm not going to sit there and scoff at it and be like, no, I'm working more. I'm not going to. No, you got to do what you got to do. You need to work. This is retail. This isn't a government job. You can't expect that pay. So you know what? I eat that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll accept it. Whatever I got to do, I just need to work. And then at that point, you're on their schedule in regards to pay scales. You look at their pay scales and you be honest. This is something I want to do long term. This is something I feel really pays off in the long run. I'll look at their pay scale. I'll see at assistant store manager, I can get to $20-some an hour. Okay, cool. I'm going to take that. So I'll go and apply for it. And my store already says they got the position filled. So I'm going to look elsewhere. And I'm not going to be picky about how much they pay me, because I know this is retail. I'm not going to get a whole lot of money from it. They offer me 22. Cool. I'll take it. Why? Not for the money, more so for the opportunity. Because it can open doors elsewhere. What ended up happening? I had that job and I was getting hit up by many recruiters just to flip sides and go to their store and work for their company as an assistant store manager. Just because I was assistant store manager at Walgreens. Did I take those jobs? No, they didn't pay what I was getting paid now. Or they were paying what I was paying now, but it wouldn't have been a move up. It would have just been a lateral move to a different company. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And they weren't even closer to my house, so what's the point? I might as well just keep driving where I'm going. So, those situations happen. Now, the new job that I got, prior to that, I worked manufacturing in California. I worked manufacturing. It was medical manufacturing at that. So, I'm used to gowning up and stuff like that. I was a supervisor at one point. So I'm like, I want to get back into supervising. Not supervising. Well, I want to be a supervisor again one day, but I know I'm probably going to have to start over and work my way up. So I'm like, well, I want to get back into manufacturing. Let me see if I can get back into manufacturing. I look and see what kind of manufacturing they have around this area. It's all biotech. all biotech. So this is literally like cancer research and things of that nature. Taking care of sick people. I can do that. It's not uh, it's not the kind of manufacturing and production where you're dealing with like making rubber and shit like that. But it's still manufacturing in regards to the scheduling and the gruelness. That's not a word. The gruelingness. That's not even a word either. It's grueling, basically. You know, the hours are long. You're gonna have long days, and you're constantly gonna be doing something when you have a run going. So I'm with that. It's a new type of industry, but it's not a new industry that I've never been part of. I've been part of the industry, just in a different facet. I dabbled my toe in this kind of, but never fully into what they're doing. You know, cell gene therapy. So, I go for it. And they're not the only ones that actually responded to my application and gave me a call. There was another company that gave me a call too. Now I got interviews. Both of them denied me and didn't give me the job, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I get denied by those, but the fact that I even got a call and 3 interviews for each one lets me know, this can actually, I might actually be able to get a job in this industry because they're looking at my application and looking at my resume seriously. So I'm still applying, I keep applying, and then a month or 2 later, they're like, are you still interested in the job? This is one of the ones that denied me. I say, yeah. Now, of course, I want to know how much the pay is because I'm getting paid 30 to 40, I think 40K, maybe 45 at Walgreens. That's before taxes. So I'm like, okay, maybe let me see what they offer, and if they pay more, I'll really consider it. So I'm looking at the pay. At Walgreens, I'm getting I think 22, and then here they're offering 25.50. So I'm like, okay, well, this is more than what I'm getting currently now. And even though I'm getting paid more now, it is a lower role, so I won't be a leader. But also, if I'm getting paid that much as a regular associate, if I can make it to a leadership role, I can get paid a lot more money. So I'm starting from the bottom, but at least the floor for the money is higher than the ceiling in retail. Am I going to sit there and haggle? No. It's a new opportunity. I don't have the leverage to haggle and negotiate. I got to be realistic about it. This is a new opportunity. They don't have to give it to me. They can give it to somebody else. If this is a new industry I want to be in, I'm going to have to take that offer and run with it. So that's what I did. I took that offer. And then lo and behold, they have overtime. So now I'm making more than $53K a year. In the end, you have to be smart about the roles that you're going for and what you really want. And know that everything's not going to be perfect. You're not going to always get what you want. Sometimes you got to take a hit in the beginning just so you can get what you want in the long run. So that's all I did. I just took the hit in the beginning. It's more money than I'm getting paid before anyway. So even though it's not as much as I'd like to have, it's better than what I was getting. So why not? In the end, you want to be smart about your position. You want to be real about it. You want to be real with yourself and real about where you're headed. Because in the end, you need to find where that stepping stone is and that foot in the door so you can get to the end goal that you're trying to achieve. And for me, it did that. It was a foot in the door. Now I just need to gain experience and level up from there. So don't be afraid to take that hit in the beginning. I'm Jeuse Kastoan, and this is Unseen Hours.